Hello beautiful people and welcome to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Everything that I use in this video will be listed down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss whenever I post another video. Let's get straight into it. I'm going in with this green shade and I'm just stamping it on the outer corner, basically right on top, above, as well as below my natural crease. And I'm building this color up to get that color that I want before blending out the edges a little bit. I'm going in with a little bit of black and I'm just applying that in the center of that green because in certain areas I wanted it to be a little darker green, and I'm just applying a little at a time and building it up. And I'm going over everywhere that I applied that green, but I'm basically keeping it in the center, and then I'm gonna go back over it with that green just so the black don't overpower the green. To blend out the edges, I'm going in with a lighter green, and looking at it, that green was just a little too light for my liking, so I ended up going in with that green that I already used, but making it fade out a little more. And I'm just going to continue to blend until it's faded the way I want it to be. And now I'm going to cut my crease, and I'm using the guide method, which is just applying some concealer to my lash line, making sure that I don't apply too much, but just enough, and then looking up. It will create a guide where I should stop with my concealer, and then I'm just going to follow that along the way. Now that I have that concealer how I want it to be, I'm going back in without applying any product to the brush, back into that green, and I'm fading it into that concealer just to get rid of that harsh line. I'm also going to go back in with a little bit of black as well, just to add back to the center of that green to give it a more dark effect. Now I'm going in with this, what I thought was a red shade, but as I look at it on camera, it gave off more of a orange, but it's still a reddish orange color. But it was already on the lid and I was not going to start over, so I just went along with it, and then you will see what I do to fix it. And now I'm just making sure that I blend both of those shades together so I don't have any harsh lines. This is the part where I go in with a little bit of that black just to give it that dark green effect. And just to set that little bit of concealer in the front, I went in with a tan shade, and it's coming off white, but it is tan. And then I'm gonna dust away that excess product and kind of blend those two shades together. Because what's a look without glitter? I'm going in with some glitter glue so that the glitter have something to stick to, and I'm just applying it all over that red shade and a little bit towards that green, and I'm just going in with this red glitter right on top of that. And I did a little glitter at a time because I wanted to kind of build it up if I needed to. I didn't want a lot of fallout with the glitter because, as you know, glitter is like the hardest thing to clean up when dealing with makeup. And now I'm gonna do the same thing with this inner corner. I'm applying some glitter glue, and I did also go right on top of that red just a little bit so that everything blend together. And now I'm going in with this glitter, and the glitter that I used is like a white iridescent color. So of course on here it doesn't really seem like I'm adding on nothing really, but I am. And whatever was remaining on the brush with that red, that is what I used to blend that red and that white together. And we're going to repeat the same steps on the opposite side, as well as put on some eyeliner and some lashes. Now that we have that done, I'm going in with some primer and some moisturizer just to moisturize and prime my face before going in with my foundation. And I like to make sure that everywhere is nice and covered. And for the foundation, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of dots, and it may look like I'm adding a lot, but I promise you it's not. And I'm just going to blend that out. This foundation is medium to full coverage, so you can build it up if needed, but I didn't have to go in with too much more. And I'm also going to go under my eye. You don't have to, because you will be using concealer under there anyways. It's just up to you. Do what works for you. And I'm just making sure that everything is nicely blended, and I'm making sure that everything is covered the way I want it to before going on the other side. I don't want my foundation to kind of dry down a little bit. So now I'm using that same foundation shade, and I'm cleaning up where that extra green eyeshadow was under the eyeliner, using a little at a time of this foundation and then fading it down. So when I go to blend it out, it does not look like a harsh line is there. And since my forehead is already halfway covered because of the concealer when I did my brows, I'm just going to use whatever remaining of that foundation to blend upward to make sure that I get rid of any harsh line from that concealer, as well as blending out that foundation and that concealer, blending it together. Now I'm going in with this damped beauty blender, and this is just to help remove any of the excess oils from that foundation. You don't have to do it that way, it's up to you. Now I'm going in with my concealer. I like to apply concealer underneath the eyes, the forehead, as well as the center of my nose. And I like to blend out the under the eyes last because I want that to sit for at least a minute or so. When blending out your forehead, you want to make sure you blend out the edges first. So I'm going to take this eyeshadow brush and I'm just going to drag a little bit of that concealer towards my brows just to clean up my brows a little bit more. And I'm doing this because I don't want to mess up my brows when using a bigger brush. And now I'm just going to blend out the rest of the edges before fading out the rest of that concealer. Now to blend out the concealer underneath the eye, doing the same thing, blending out the outer edges first, making sure that I still keep that coverage right in that inner corner and fading everything else to the back. And I'm just lightly tapping. I'm not pressing too hard because you don't want to remove any of that foundation underneath. Without applying anything extra to the foundation brush, I'm just going in and cleaning up those edges before blending out that inner corner. And this time I'm going to use my damped beauty blender to blend that out, and just look at how smooth and how nice that blended out. I am going to go in with another apply of concealer on underneath my eyes as well as my forehead, just a little bit, because I did want that to be a lot brighter for this particular look to help the eyes stand out even more. Once that's all blended, I'm gonna go in with my foundation brush yet again to blend out those edges so everything flows together. And I also went back in with the beauty blender just to make sure that I remove any excess product as well as any creasing I may have before going in with some translucent powder. Now I'm going in with some bronzer, and of course this may look like I added on a lot, but I really didn't. It's just very pigmented, so a little does go a long way. Just keep in mind that it is very pigmented. And I'm just applying this everywhere that you would normally contour and blending upward as well as outward. And then I will go in with my foundation brush just to clean that up a little bit. Same thing when applying it to my nose. A little goes a long way. On that one side, as you can see, I did go a little heavy, but that's by mistake. And I like to take my finger to blend it out first before going in with any type of brush to help blend it out even more. When going in with that foundation brush, I'm just stamping on top and blending it in the direction that it needs to be blended. So on the cheek area, I'm fading it upward. Towards my hairline, I'm fading it back. And then to remove any of that excess product, I'm going in with that damped beauty blender as well as to help blend it out a little more. And now I'm going in with some powder just to set underneath the eyes. In this, I'm more so baking right now because I already set underneath my eyes. And I'm just going to bake for a little while, for not too long, because again, it is winter time and I do have dry skin. And everywhere that I apply concealer is where I'm applying this powder, as well as just adding a little bit underneath my jawline to kind of give that more sharp look. And that part is optional. You don't have to do it this way if you don't want to, but you do have to set that foundation underneath there as well. And to set the rest of my face as well as get rid of that excess powder, I'm going in with some pressed powder to do so. This pressed powder is similar to my skin tone, so it will help everything come together. And then I'm gonna finish the rest of my face off camera, which is just finish the rest of the eyes and do my lips off camera. I hope y'all enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. And I just wanted to say happy holidays to everyone. Be safe, enjoy your family and loved ones. And I will see you in the next video. Also, everything that I use is listed down below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss whenever I post another video.